Hey guys, welcome back. You know what we do. You know the vibes. Okay? Today I'm with let's do you know what? Yeah, today I'm with family. Yeah. I got my good girlfriends in. It's gonna be a good episode. So we have Rhianna and SHAZ in the building. Hello Adam.
Say hi.
How are you lot?
We're good.
Good, alhamdulillah.
Today, obviously, you know my people be winning. You know my people be doing their thing or whatever, and it's just a vibe. Well, let's get into you, Rihanna, first and foremost. Yeah, I want to talk about your brand launch. I want to talk about starting up a business, the struggles, the pros, the cons, everything. Like, let's delve into it. Tell them what it is.
Adam's proper sat up because he knows exactly what you're talking about now.
That's my mama.
So I recently launched a brand called Maun London, and it's an accessories and jewelry brand, and we launched in August on my birthday. So double celebration, and it's like amongst all the ideas that I've had, it's the one that I've believed in the most. And my baby over here like really supported me. No, but it's just the constant cheering and the reminding that I am capable of doing it. And you need to hear that sometimes, you know?
Do you think you would have gotten this far without your support?
No, definitely not. I wouldn't have, 100% hands down. I would have been like, forget it, it's too difficult. Because there's obviously times when it's been very, very stressful. Obviously, managing that with managing myself and 3 children, it's a lot to kind of have to compartmentalize and to keep wanting to go back to. Because it's stressful. You just think, oh, forget it, I can just live my life, it's fine. But yeah.
Talk about that though. Talk about like trying to balance motherhood and trying to be a boss businesswoman, doing your thing.
It's literally like spinning plates. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, you're constantly trying to spin a plate, and the hardest part of it is like starting it off. But once it's spinning, it's easy to just balance, and just keep the momentum going. But yeah, that's where the support comes in, because when it gets difficult, they're there to cheer you on and keep it going. But it's all about time management, I would say, and there's never enough hours in the day.
And remembering that you're a whole human outside of your responsibilities, outside of being a mother.
Yeah. We forget that a lot. It's like, you are mother.
It's the label takes over and you forget about your own.
And it's societal expectations as well, and that you're deemed as selfish if you want time for yourself as a mother, or if you want to do anything outside of the home or anything like that. So it's managing people's expectations as well.
There's a certain level of importance when it comes to managing other people's expectations within like business or motherhood or whatever, because a lot of people either are on one end of the spectrum or the other, and they'd either be like they're all in for other people and they care too much and or they just don't care completely.
I feel like there's not a level of importance of managing other people's expectations. There's a level of importance to managing your own expectations of yourself and your boundaries. And that's the only way I can put it, because you're going to forever in life come across people who will never agree with you. They will always disagree with you in one way or another. You can't please everyone. The only person you can please is yourself, and to know that you are on the right track, you have the right intentions. And I think everything's about intentions as well, because everyone looks at things subjectively from their experiences, from their point of view. The only person that can fully look at a situation objectively is Allah. So it's all about having the right intentions, because I might be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, like, no one's perfect. This is it. No one's perfect, and you can only do your best in a situation with managing time, different responsibilities you have to take care of. But it's all about your intention to do your best, and that's all you can ever do, really.
So how long has Moran been in the works?
Over a year, I would say. It's been like being birthed in my brain. But in terms of like actual action, I would say since the beginning of this year, I've been taking steps and planning out time. And because I know I have the responsibilities that I do, I gave myself way over and above extra time, and still it was like down to the wire because unforeseen stuff happened. But I would always say manage your time as best you can.
What about you, Shaz, seeing it from obviously Bestie's perspective? Yeah, you're out here trying to, like, you see her wanting to do this and like writing all her plans down and trying to figure out how to even start and da 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 da. Like, what's your role in her life and how did that help her out with her business?
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say, like, launching a business within like 8 months or less for some people isn't enough time. So as much as we feel like it's ample time, like launching a small business, just one person as well as raising your children, it's actually not a huge amount of time. So well done, like, mashallah. And I guess Rihanna always tells me whenever she has an idea, she's had a lot of ideas in the past, and I feel like all of these ideas that she's had in the past has kind of led up to my own, built up to my own. And just obviously speaking from my perspective, it's whenever I feel like she's felt like, do you know what, this is long, or this is not doable, it's not feasible, it's just a matter of just breaking it down or helping her to break it down herself rather, and making it more, breaking the process down into more achievable
goals. Yeah, and you know, there's a blessing in that because a lot of people would flip it and actually be like, well, that's unrealistic, and they'll just come with this, they would think it's advice or like whatever they think it might be, but it's just a bunch of negativity that someone in your position would just, it's easier for you to eat up and just not do it. Whereas alhamdulillah, you have someone like Shaz that will actually, like she said, break it down and help you like figure out the smaller steps to get to the bigger goal.
I have to say, like, I feel like Shaz is the definition of want for your sister what you want for yourself. Like, she is a very, very supportive person. I have to say, so I love you so much. Like, yeah, like she's not the type of person that ever looks at some things like, oh no, I don't want you to do that, or because I want to do it, I don't want you to do it. It's, let's work on how you do it. It's always going to help her at the end of the day. Like, we both work towards a common goal, whether it's for me or for her. And yeah, it's a beautiful trait to have, honestly, because it's very rare. Genuinely very rare.
Yeah, that's why I love seeing when you lot are together. Yeah, like, I just love seeing your friendship because, like you said, it's exactly like you lot have a sisterhood that I don't really think anyone can break, really and truly. Like, and that's something, like you said, is very rare. Like, you don't find that with a lot of people anymore. A lot of people nowadays, they're not very trustworthy. They might be telling you all this positivity but wishing bad behind your back. And
like the saying that people want to see you do good but not better than them.
Exactly. And the fact that, like you said, solo, 3 kids, like no help really, and then you have Shaz that's there and that's willing to just be like, you know what, like, take some time, I'll take this on for you, and and you know, let's do it together. Do you know what I mean? It's a luxury. It really is.
It is. I have to say, I'm very fortunate in that regard. Very, very fortunate.
And I was gonna say, I'm genuinely inspired by women who do well, because if I see you doing well, then I know it's possible for me. I know it's possible for her. I know it's possible for you and you. Like, I find it so aspirational just seeing women winning.
I want to talk about the name. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the name, the meanings, everything.
So basically, let's see if I can articulate this well enough. I was talking to my sister-in-law one day, and I kind of told her the concept of what I wanted the brand to be. And it was like, I wanted a lot of water. It's calming to me. There's a purification to it. And she was like, why don't you choose the name Ma'un? And it's an Arabic term. There's a surah in the Quran named after it. And from what I can remember, it's about like the purification you receive from giving to charity and looking after the orphans and helping those that are in need. I don't know, obviously I'm not very fluent in Arabic, so there might be another like definition for it in terms of actual like water and stuff like that, but it's about purification and purifying oneself, from what I remember. So I thought that was like a perfect word and a perfect name for the brand. But I don't think a lot of people realize this, because like I've had a few actual Muslims, and like they didn't know how to pronounce it, they didn't know what it was.
Me before you arrived. I was like, Shaz, it's like, how do I say it? I didn't even know it was Arabic, to be complete, but that just comes down to me and my lack of knowledge and whatnot.
I think it'll be really interesting for you to like create like a dictionary definition of it in context of your brand.
Yeah, I actually have one. I put it in my brief for the creative team, so I actually have it. I could find
Amazing.
It, so I'll put that up.
She said, I thought ahead. Okay, did you play around with any other names?
No, I don't think I did. There was one. No, it was my aunt. No, but basically, yeah. It's a yes and no. So I originally spelt it wrong. Okay. Right, based off of what I was hearing my sister-in-law saying. Obviously, I don't have a very trained ear for Arabic, so I'm very English. So I was spelling it. I was transliterating it wrong. So originally, it was a different name. It was Maan with like an apostrophe. It was like Ma'an. But it's Ma'un, basically, so I swapped it. But it's basically the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, it is the same. It's just a matter of literacy. So you didn't really have any other names that you thought, really? So it really did fit then when you heard it.
And I know, so at points, this is it. And it's at points I can be very logical, and at points I can be very illogical when I'm stressed. And this is why Shaz is here to like help break it down. Because you know when it's not in your head, you're able to see the wood through the trees and stuff. But in situations like this, it's logically thinking, I could pick any name under the sun. Right. And if I keep thinking about it, I'm going to keep thinking about it because I'm already an overthinker. And I'm going to go into all the intricacies. And it's like, I'm wasting valuable time here trying to figure out if this one's better than this one, better than this. I don't have a whole marketing team who knows the psychological reasons behind. Do you know what I mean? I can only do as best as I can do.
It's a good name that fits your brand perfectly.
Yeah, so if it goes, it goes. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah. What was, do you think, the most stressful part from beginning to end when it comes to actually diving in and doing it?
I feel like saying all of it.
All of it?
This happens a lot. Like, we read each other's mind. All of it. Over and above.
But good stress, I would say. They're like, Miriam, you don't know. Give me. Oh, let's get into it. What? Yeah, let's get into it. Why?
Okay, it's time management. So
that's the main factor.
It is. So in the beginning, and this is that a lot of people say to me, I don't understand how you do everything you do in a day because I don't have time to myself. So where I should be sleeping, I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning. From like maybe 10 till 3 or 9 till 3, depending on when he settles down.
So that's your alone time.
Yeah, so I can think, because I can't think straight if I've got noise. Yeah. I'd rather just get on with what I need to get on with and then allocate the time to do what I need to do. So I'm having a lack of sleep and I'm having to stay up late. That's a stress because I'm tired. Yeah. I'm even more tired the next day. And it's like a vicious cycle of, you just got to get through it. I've had stock stolen.
What?
Yeah, my launch stock.
No way.
That made me boo-hoo cry. Because, I was mad that day. And it was like, when I realised it was too late for me to even be able to like contact the suppliers and reorder it. And I was frustrated because had I realised prior to when it first happened, I could have done something about it. As much as it would have been more of an expense, I could have had my full launch collection that I wanted. And it was frustrating because I am a creative and because I put my mind, body and soul into this concept. It was very much that me on a plate.
Curated. It wasn't just random bits and bobs.
Everything had a place and these people came and messed it up. And I was just like, the world is over. Like, it's literally how I felt.
It's really, isn't it? It's like you've just been left there naked with no escape.
That's literally how I felt because it's like all my frustrations, all my tiredness, all my work, all my everything came out at once because I just couldn't understand. In this day and age, like, I refuse to believe anyone is that hard up to steal that from outside my house. You live on my road. Go down to Primark. You don't have to steal my stock. Like, you don't have to. It's now being out of spite and selfishness.
Do you think it was targeted or just random?
No, it's just because they had it's an opportunist. That's what it is, because they are like that in my area. And it's like, I know the people that are there, you're doing it because you don't want to go out to work or because you want drugs or something like that. And I don't trouble people. I mind my business. I look after my kids. I do what I need to do. I work. I come back home. You didn't need to do that to me. Yeah. And that's what the frustrate. It's just pure spite.
You don't even need the things that
this is it. You don't.
Talk about your products. Like, what is Maroon, if you could?
It's like, it's a lifestyle and it's a concept. It's very earthy. It's very boho chic at the same time. Like, bougie and down to earth. Right in the middle of that is where I sit. Yeah.
Balance. It's the yin and yang of bougie and nature.
This is it. And
that's exactly how people would describe you.
This is it. And it's like, it's the concept of, like, you can be down to earth, but you don't need to lack effort. You can be down to earth. You don't need to lack in beauty. You can make your life beautiful and have nothing at the same time. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes a lot of people are either too far in, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and have this kind of like facade around them to make them look away, or they're very much in the opposite, like, oh, I don't care and I don't care about my appearance. I'm right bang in the middle of that. You can make effort with a little. You can look nice without spending a lot. Do you know what I mean? So that's the concept, and I wanted it to be like very hands-on. So I wanted elements of things that I've made by my hand. And I feel like it's very, it might sound a bit cringy and stuff, but it's very, very special. And there's a heartfeltness to things that are made by your hand. Like, you know, you'll go to Morocco and people have made things by their hand, and we just think, oh, I'm just going to spend XYZ on this plate from Morocco. Well, no, that's someone's handprint is on that. Someone's time, a part of someone's life, has an energy has been put into that plate. Or the candles that I make, for example, and then I'll like make sure I hand carve elements. Like, I molded the candle myself. It's literally from like my idea, everything. This is it. And if you go on my website, I proper customized it to this. This is it. Like, this website is run by love. That's what I've put it as, because that's what I want people to feel when they come and shop with me. That's how I want people to feel when I leave them and when I'm around them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you could say it's a direct reflection of you.
I've tried to make it as authentically me as possible, and there's like an element of like vulnerability to it as well, because, you know, some people are just never gonna be on the same wavelength as you, never gonna understand your vibe, your energy, all of these things. So like, I even like, I've got my mailers for my marketing and stuff, and I wrote like a little paragraph, and I've decided to myself, I'm gonna write it as if I'm writing it to my close friends. I'm gonna write it as if I'm writing it to someone that I love, as if I'm talking to myself, as if I'm talking to my children.
So it's not just personalized, it's actually personal. Yeah.
I'm glad that we did that now, the samples.
Yeah.
Honest, what? I'm gonna order. You're gonna be out of stock by the time I'm done, bruv. I'm not gonna lie, because that was doing things that I didn't know you could do, bruv. Wallah.
And do you know what? Like, I just feel like if you plan things properly, and by planning I don't mean you need to sit there and like cover your walls in planning and so much notes. A lot of it, although I did do that, like, I'm not gonna lie. She's laughing because I had a whole wall dedicated to my brain and my thoughts. But it's like, if you think things through and just try to run with what resonates with you most, it's scary, but it's like, it's not done me wrong. Yeah.
It shows that there's a power in being vulnerable. And I think as humans, that's the one emotion that a lot of us tend to bury or avoid. Or I know me, I hate me even thinking about being vulnerable. I want to vomit. Like, I actually want to vomit, because I'm like, I don't know how I can't. So the fact that you've not just shown it through who you are, but you can translate that into your business, for me is something that's insane. It's actually insane. Like, I don't think I would be able to do that. I don't think a lot of people would be able to do that.
I feel like it's the fear of being vulnerable, because I've come to the conclusion, after like living on this earth for 30 years, going through everything I've gone through, hearing everything I've heard, everyone is exactly the same. and we try to hide it and mask it, but we're exactly the same. We all eat and go to the toilet. Like, we all bleed if we're cut. Like, we all have the same amount of emotions. We all think and feel very similar things. We just hide it well, and some people are better at hiding it than others. That's the only thing. So when it comes down to me being vulnerable in front of people, I just have to remind myself there's no need for me to like feel shy or be embarrassed, because
you're feeling these feelings too, baby.
yeah, you just
And it's honestly, it's literally for why. You can't even answer that question. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason for you.
It also gives people permission to be their authentic selves as well.
yeah.
It's a lot of courage, and I think that's the one thing a lot of people don't have. And I think that's what separates how people translate their vulnerability. It takes a lot of courage for you to just do that and think, I don't care. Like, this is, I'm going to feel, I'm not going to deprive myself from feeling a natural emotion. Like, if this is how I want to be, or this is how I want to feel, like, let it be.
And one thing I decided to myself a couple years ago is regret is probably the worst feeling on the face of this earth, worse than embarrassment. Like, you only have a short amount of time, and we don't control time. Once the moment's gone, it's gone. And I decided to myself that I do not want to be on my deathbed regretting anything. Either wishing I said something or wishing I didn't say something. Do you know what I mean? So I try to kind of conduct myself through my life like that. Always thinking, if I was to drop down today, God forbid, but if I was to drop down today, what would I wish I'd said to someone? How would I have wished I behaved? And that feeds into whether I'm able to forgive people, because I'm looking at things a lot more objectively than subjectively. I'm looking at the grand scheme of things, like, is it really that deep? Do you know what I mean? And again, it feeds into boundaries. It's all like many sides of the same coin.
It's self-investing, isn't it? Once you self-invest and actually understand who you are, you understand how you want to maneuver. Like you said, it's objective, it's not subjective. Do you know what I mean? I was going to say something, my thought just completely left my mind.
Going back to the brand, like, on a micro scale of what you just said, like, from in moments where you felt like things were getting really hard or really stressful, I feel like reminding ourselves that, well, okay, it's hard, so we're just not gonna do it now, or we're gonna leave that bit out, like, even the one element, because like I said, everything that she's picked out for this launch has meaning to it. So it's really difficult bringing this in. Should we just leave it out? And the answer is always no. Like, it's difficult. I'm crying about it, but we're gonna do it. because we don't want to come out of this with regret. And
this is it. And it's also, as you said, it's very self-investing, because I feel like as much as it's shown other people that it's possible, by doing this, I'm showing myself that it's possible. Because until I did it, I was like, this is impossible to do. And I'm really happy.
Like banging gym.
You guys, this is all motivation for me to get back in the gym. I will be back soon, hopefully. But it's all about self-investing and believing that you deserve it, and then choosing to give that to yourself.
That's powerful.
This is it, because we deny ourselves. Nine times out of 10, it's us denying ourselves the thing that we want, and we put it and we like project it into other people and situations. But no, you can whatever it is in the world you want, you can get it.
And that I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in that we're not just made to do one thing. Like, we have, I think,
it's how we've been conditioned.
Exactly. And I think we are organically multi-talented, and talent can be built on, skills can be picked up, X, Y, and Z. And I think when people just close themselves off or narrow themselves down to one thing, it almost diminishes their heart when it comes to wanting to do other things.
100%. I recently listened to a audiobook. Can't remember who it's by, but it's like The Women Who Run With Wolves. And basically, have you read it?
Yeah.
It's basically saying that there's creativity in all women, and your creativity, that wasn't me, your creativity is your wildness. It's what makes you you. And as a society, we've been conditioned and tamed to like never have our hair out and wild, never be crazy like wild women. We have to be proper, we have to cross our legs, tame. And when we do that to ourselves, we're diminishing what makes us us. As much as we might have the really wild elements to us, those tie into our creativeness, our intuition, what makes us be able to love properly, you know. And I feel like as a society we've really knocked a lot of that out of us, and I'm trying to kind of get into touch with that. And I suppose like it's also part of like a woman's rebellious streak as well, or like mine, I won't speak about everyone, my rebellious streak, especially like as a Muslim and coming from like quite an Islamic family, and at one stage being an Aqabi. Like I'm the complete opposite at the moment, and I know like probably to some people who have known me for many years, it's a shock to the system. And it's very strange to see in stark contrast to people like my brother, for example. But it's a situation where I have to be true to myself, and it's all down to intentions. And this is not to like negate halal and haram and your obligations as a Muslim, but I also have to be true to myself, and I have to be the person I am. And as long as I know that I'm not being horrible to anyone and I'm treating people with their rights and stuff, it's like, be you, you know.
I'm with that 100%. If you could give anybody out there, whether they're in their early 20s, whether they're in their 30s, their 40s, doesn't matter, if you can give them any tips when it comes to launching a business, when it comes to having that courage, what would you say to them?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Literally just do it.
Not like Nike.
No. No.
Not like Nike.
Like my own. I would literally say just do it. Start where you can. And I would also say put as much energy into this as you would if you're working for someone else. Because I feel like in the past, a lot of the time, I've set myself up to fail. I've not given myself enough time. I've put too much energy into other stuff than what I really want. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you can't do it, so you put yourself in situations in which you can't do it. Then you can't do it, and you say, see, I can't do it, I'm not going to try. Set yourself up to succeed. So if that means not going out a few nights a week, for example, so you can dedicate that time, the only spare time you have to your business, do it.
Sacrifice.
This is it. And I'm a big believer in do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do.
Yes, I'm with that.
And you stack it up, and it's the same with money. Like, save what you have to so that you can spend what you want to.
Yeah.
And so it's there, you know? So, yeah, that's what I would say. Invest in yourself, and that doesn't just mean financially, it means with time, energy. Spend time by yourself. And this was a really hard pill for me to swallow, because I've been advised this so much, and it's probably the best thing I've done, which is to like spend time with myself and stop allowing outside influences in my little very like basically
Yeah.
very like
I think, do you know what? It's a lot of people, especially nowadays, aren't comfortable on their own, and I think that's once you can master that, and you'd rather be on your own, you win, because I feel like that comfortability can help you master anything.
This is it. It's true, 100%. And I just feel like people just fall into the categories of not wanting to be alone, so you project, or not wanting to be alone, so you absorb. And it's a bunch of people projecting and absorbing, and no one being authentic and real. No one doing the inner work to check when they're projecting. And I feel like that's really important to have. It's a really important trait for the people around you to have. And if your people around you don't have that, like, get rid, basically, because yeah, she has that very much. Just FYI.
What about you, Shaz? If you could give anybody any tips when it comes to wanting to start a business, the process, launching, whatever it may be, ideas, what would you say?
Well, like we said earlier, breaking it down into smaller. I feel like what overwhelms people is just the end goal. Like, oh my God, this business, and it has to do well, and it has to sell out on the launch day, and you know, all of these wild expectations. Break it down, like literally, even if you don't have any money to spend on your business, start with a logo. Start with your, but what we call in the brand. That doesn't cost any money. What's the name of it? Write notes. We need a logo. How much does a logo cost? Cool, I'm gonna stay for that. What's the next step? What's the next little step? Like one of the easiest things to do is just taking it one step at a time. You don't need to do it all in, even if it takes you 2 years. But that baby is still there. That baby's still there. It's still growing. It's still gonna come into fruition.
But I think a lot of people as well feel like maybe in their later years, whether it's 30s, 40s, whatever it may be, that it's too late. And I don't believe in that ever. I think if you want to do something, like I genuinely, we don't have control of time. Regardless, if we're all getting older, whatever it may be, time you're here today, you're gone tomorrow, whatever it may be. So I think we need to unlearn a few things, and that's one thing that we definitely need to just get over. Like, you can launch a business. There was this documentary that I was watching, and it was about this Jewish woman. She left like a really strict Orthodox Jewish community in New York, and she ended up running the biggest fashion agency in the world at the age of 60. She left in her I think she left when she was 50 something or 40 something, and she ended up working for them for 2 years as management, and then ended up being the CEO I think 3 years later. And I'm just like,
see, that there's no prescribed time for anything. But we were joking about banging gym earlier, but it really is like, whenever one thing that puts people off achieving their like gym goals or their health and fitness goals is just the hugeness of it. They don't want to take time. We don't want to take time to cultivate ourselves, to really build and build on good habits, and just taking it one step at a time. We want to go from zero. We want to look at someone who's been training for 20 years and say, I want that for my birthday in 2 weeks. And it doesn't work like and it doesn't work like that. And it's not just obviously body goals, it's just your life, just doing better for yourself and your life. Same with like, if you have a dream, whether it's a business or moving to a different country, there's always little steps that we can start taking from today to get them.
I wanted to touch on that as well, because I feel like we're very, very hard on ourselves. And again, we want to go from 0 to 100, and we don't want to take time. And even if it's something as simple as you said before, if you didn't have money for your business, I became a web developer. And she's gonna learn Photoshop. Like, we don't know what we're doing, but you learn along the way. And it's about investing that time.
How did you know I was gonna learn Photoshop?
We spoke about it.
She's like, and she's gonna learn.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I think people don't understand that.
Rhianna also designed her own logo. She didn't get a logo designer.
There you go. You like, when you're pre-in the website and making your orders, you can see it.
The website was coded. She learned. I don't know how. My brain could never.
At one stage, I messed up. I deleted the whole thing. I was literally at the end, and I went back to tweak one thing, and it disappeared. And that was also stress on my chest.
This was the day before the launch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you just have to stare into space like, I'm not going to let this ruin me today. I'm going to win. I'm going to come at this.
Oh my god. People forget what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
How much of that is...
Yeah, that's life, right? We see the highlight reels on Instagram, but not the behind the scenes.
Even for the shoot day, we slept for 45 minutes? In the night, like, only had 45 minutes sleep. I drove for an hour and a half, there, hour and a half back. We was there from 5 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, in heat and in cold, like, went from one extreme to another.
Yeah. It was foggy when we were driving. It was sunny, beautiful weather when we got there.
Left in a pitch black. So it's all of these things. People just see an end result and think, oh yeah, cool. But it's a lot of work that goes into it. But it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah, people need to start seeing business like life.
Yeah.
Like, one step at a time, self-invest. Because everything you lot are saying is a natural lifestyle, basically. It's organic. It's how we're supposed to be. And I think it's so what's it, it could be implemented everywhere, basically. I'm not even going to try and figure out what that word is supposed to be. Yeah, I was like, applicable, I don't know if applicable. I knew it was something around it, yeah, but it's true, because you can apply that to basically everything in anything that you do, and it will work. Anything, what, like friendships, relationships, business, studies, gym, food, the way you speak, the way your mind works.
What another thing that helps is just having the faith that what's meant for you is for you. It won't leave you. Like, Allah has given us the eggs, sugar and flour. We just need to now work with it. Decide what we're gonna create with it.
Pancake boy, do you get it? For real, man. I want to touch on for. I can still hear you. Oh my god. I want to touch on motherhood for a little bit, because obviously this business has been the main-ish thing in your life for the past, let's say, a year, right? But motherhood has been in your life for a little while now. It's a big chunk of your life. How has that influenced you when it comes down to you wanting to succeed?
I feel like, and this is just a big guess, because it's like the road not traveled. I feel like it's inspired me to work harder and do more, especially where, like, I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, and you go to the doctors for your scans and stuff, and they were like, oh, we want you to be a part of this trial, blah blah blah, for teen moms. And I looked at her, I was like, I'm not a teen mom. I was 18. But I was like, the whole term of being a teen mom is inexperience, the immaturity,
the stigma behind
it. And I was like, I'm not a teen mom, but I really was a teen mom. I was very young. And I literally, like, left my parents' house, and within 3 months of leaving my parents' house, I was pregnant. And I got, like, blasted into motherhood from there. So I've always felt like I have this thing that I have to kind of prove to myself and prove to everyone that it wasn't a mistake, especially where half my family is not Muslim, half are. So the non-Muslim side will never fully understand the need to get married. They would be like, boyfriend, girlfriend, blah blah blah, this is it. And or like, I don't know if I would have ended up falling pregnant if I had a boyfriend or something, because I don't know, but in their head it's probably like, you're too young for this, you shouldn't be getting married at 18, this is like in your 20s or 30s, you're irresponsible. And then if I wind up not making anything of myself, I'm just proving them right. And it's a situation where I felt like I need to make sure I do something with myself. And on top of that, like, my mum has always been like that. I don't know where she gets it from, but she's worked a full-time job all her life with 7 kids. How? I don't know. Allahumma barik. But she's taught me that it's possible. Stop thinking it's not possible. Get up and make it happen. Literally, that's what it is. And where as well, I come from a really big family, so there's 7 of us all together. And before I had my kids, I had at least, I think, 2 or 3 nieces or nephews at the time. And we're very, very close. So I was already used to, like, going somewhere and having a baby with me, for example. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't out of a necessity. Like, I always say my niece is my firstborn, because, it was just me and her 24/7. So that kind of taught me it's possible to do, to just get on and do it, and just balance, and to stop thinking you can't. The moment you think you can't do it, So, yeah.
Do you know what? I want to get your opinion on something. I had a conversation a couple of days ago, and a statement was pulled out, and it was, motherhood is selfish. What do you think? Because that's what I said. I came at, like, I completely think it's selfless. X, Y, and Z, because of what it takes, right? And the person was saying, bringing a child into this world is selfish because you want to bring this child into this world. And I was like, but it's natural.
Selfish because you're forcing someone to be here?
Yeah, because the world is mad. Yeah.
I mean,
without consent.
I didn't get consent for that to be conceived. The thing is, and I feel like this is why religion is here, and these texts and stuff are here because we could go down any and every rabbit hole of coulda, woulda, shoulda in the world. At the end of the day, like, whoever was meant to be here is meant to be here. Whoever is not meant to be here is not meant to be here. There are people that are trying their hardest to fall pregnant and they can't, and there are people that aren't trying at all and they're popping out babies left, right and centre. And I feel like that's the element of Allah's controlling that. Do you know what I mean? Whoever was meant to be here is meant to be here. So if you're having that conversation with a non-religious person, I wouldn't even bother think about, and because you're talking to a brick wall. They're never gonna understand the concept because they want you to consent with a sperm and egg that's never met. And you know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. But
even non-religious people like still hold the belief that our souls like gave permission for us to come here.
This is
Like,
it. This is it. So, but I equally, because I thought about this myself and I've seen like the state of the world, and I'm just like, I would not want to bring another child into this because of what I know of the world now. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it could change tomorrow. I don't think it's going to change tomorrow at all. And it's like, I need to also be smart with my decision. And it's like, God forbid there's a world apocalypse. I can't carry 5 kids on my back. I can maybe carry
that's
this
what
one.
I'm here for.
Do you know what
That's
I
why
mean?
I got gym.
Get on.
SHAZ running with like 2 kids on her
Yeah.
back.
But it's things like that. But I mean, it's swings and roundabouts because there's people that prepare for all of these things. And this is, look, we're going down a rabbit hole because it might never happen. You know?
There's no like, it's just it's a weird conversation to have.
There's never been a time in human history where being a human wasn't hard.
Ever.
Ever.
We're coming to the end of our little pods. I don't know if Shaz told you this, but I do riddles at the end of my pods.
I actually forgot that element.
How dare you forget? You like riddles? Yes. Okay.
I don't know if I'll get it though, but I'm gonna try. Yeah.
4 for you lot today. Okay. So, the first one. I am a box that holds keys without locks, yet they can unlock your soul. What am I?
Is it a piano?
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Go on. I would have not got that. I had to read it about 3 times to even try and figure it out. Okay. I weaken all men for hours each day. I'll show you strange visions while you are away. I take you by night, by day, take your back. None suffer to have me, but do from my lack. What am I?
Sleep.
Yes!
I was gonna say dream.
Oh my god, you good. Girl, I wouldn't have got that either. You know, people come on my platform and try and give me riddles and I'm out here stuttering. I'm like, no, I don't do that. Okay, 2 more. So, there were 5 men travelling down a road and it started to rain and the men sped up. The 5th did not, but they all arrived at the same place at the same time, but all the men were wet besides the 5th. How?
Did the 5th one have an umbrella?
Did the sun come out?
Was he driving?
Is it something to do with days of the week?
Nope. It's got to do with the man.
The man, the 5th man. He didn't get wet.
One that didn't get wet. Yeah.
And he's the only one that didn't speed up.
But they all got there at the same time, at the same place.
He had a coat. Fur. So it's an actual man.
Yeah.
He took a shortcut.
No.
Okay. Because they sped up, maybe they went the long way round. Do you know the answer? No.
He was walking under a bridge.
No.
You know,
Go on, tell us.
you know them shops that have the thingy.
How-
The brand.
How-
He's walking under that.
Streets.
He's walking in the street.
No.
I give up.
Do you give up? Wait, no,
Yeah.
give us a clue. He was in something.
Not in a car.
A box.
A box.
Okay, but elaborate on a box. On the right part.
Oh, a coffin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, come on, guys. It's just a riddle.
Oh no.
Oh, you lot. Oh, no.
They sped up and he slowed down. No, really rude.
us, but they all arrived at the same time, innit? Right, okay, the last one is it's a riddle, but it's low-key like a dad joke. I feel like they're slowly creeping in all these little dad jokes by the episodes, but okay. If someone robbed you in the shower, what would they be?
Robbed
Yeah.
you in the shower.
Well, I would be a fucking idiot.
Do you know like that? If someone robbed you in the shower, what would they be?
No, I don't know. I'm not good at riddle. Tell us.
An eye wetness, but
What?
Eye wetness.
Oh, wetness. Oh, okay.
Scream. Do you know how hard I laughed on the bus?
No, you should never come back here.
I told you the dad jokes are slowly like they're making their way,
We
man.
need to get that riddle book.
We do.
Embarrassing.
There's a book that I need to get, man. It's got all the riddles. You got 2 out of 2? 2 out of 4? Yeah.
Anyways, guys, make sure you all go visit maoonlondon.co.uk
Yes.
and maoon.london on Instagram. Buy the things.
Everything will be in the description, you lot. It's been sweet. Thank you guys for coming.
Welcome. See you. Bye.
And yeah, guys, in a bit. Bye.